Good afternoon, East Texas. This is your TylerPaper.com afternoon news update for Monday, April 8th. The Associated Press is reporting today that North Korea said today it will suspend operations at a factory complex it is jointly run with South Korea, pulling out more than 53,000 North Korean workers and moving closer to severing its last economic link with its rival as tensions escalate. Now, the industrial complex just north of the demilitarized zone is the biggest employer in North Korea's third largest city, and shutting it down, even temporarily, would show that the destitute country is willing to hurt its own economy to display its anger with South Korea and the United States. Now, the move, of course, follows weeks of threatening rhetoric aimed at Seoul and its U.S. ally following UN sanctions, which punished the North for its third nuclear test in February. Now, analysts say it's part of an effort to force new Pyongyang-friendly policies in South Korea and Washington and to boost domestic loyalty for Kim Jong-un, of course, the country's young, still relatively untested new leader. Now, the statement about the factory complex came from the secretary of the Central Committee of the Workers' Party of Korea, and it did not say what would happen to the 475 South Korean managers still at the complex. The statement also did not say whether the North Korean workers would be recalled immediately. Now, the statement said that North Korea will now consider whether to close the complex permanently. Quote, how the situation will develop in the days ahead will entirely depend on the attitude of South Korean authorities, according to that statement. Back here in Texas, the state's House Democrats today blasted a Republican proposal to reduce the number of early voting days in Texas, as well as other proposed changes to the state's election laws, according to an AP report. Now, a Republican representative from Spring, Texas, introduced the bill, which would cut 5 days from the current 12-day early voting period because she said it's hard for county election officials to recruit enough volunteers to operate the polls. Now, conservative groups supported the bill because they said they have trouble recruiting poll observers for the full 12 days and said it would save counties money. Now, more than half of Texas voters cast their ballots during the early voting period, and Democrats representing working class districts noted that Florida, which passed similar legislation 2 years ago, was actually planning to return to a longer early voting period. Now, a Democrat representative from Houston also noted that the Legislative Budget Board determined changing the law would actually not save money. Now, another Democrat representative from Houston, who's actually the vice chairman of the House Elections Committee, said the bill was exactly the same as other measures introduced across the country in Republican-controlled states. And he said, quote, this is about the suppression of voters in the state of Texas, and I don't think the people of Texas want to go in that direction. And in sad news today, Annette Funicello, who became a child star as a Mouseketeer on the Mickey Mouse Club in the 1950s and then teamed up with Frankie Avalon for a string of 60s Fun in the Sun movies, died today, according to the AP. She was 70 years old. She died at a hospital in Bakersfield, California, of complications from multiple sclerosis, the Walt Disney Company said. Now, she had stunned fans and friends in 1992 with the announcement about her illness. And the Disney chairman and CEO said, quote, she will forever hold a place in our hearts as one of Walt Disney's brightest stars, delighting an entire generation of baby boomers with her jubilant personality and endless talent. And Frankie Avalon said today that Funicello never realized how beloved she was. He told the AP, quote, she was so bashful about it. She was an amazing girl. He added that it's like losing a family member, and he said he was devastated, but not necessarily surprised by the news. Now, Funicello was just 13 when she gained fame on Walt Disney's Television Club, which was a mixture of stories, songs, and dance routines that ran from 1955 to 1959. And for a look at the weather forecast, here is our news partner, KYTX CBS 19.
Hello everybody, we'll be watching some changing weather as we go through the afternoon and tonight. As we'll see by afternoon, some sunshine, temperatures well into the 70s, and tonight clouds start to move back in. Will be about bedtime around 70 degrees. Overnight we go cloudy, and by early in the morning when you get out to go to work, you'll see cloudy skies, temperatures in the upper 60s. By lunchtime and the early part of the afternoon, should see some breaks in the clouds and temperatures warming well into the 80s, so it is going to be a warm one on Tuesday. Winds will also be strong as we go on through the afternoon and tonight. They'll be out of the south 15 to 20, maybe even a little more, with some higher gusts up to 25, even 30 miles per hour at times. Noontime tomorrow out of the south, still strong winds, same thing as we go through the afternoon. Here's your day planner for Tuesday: 68 degrees at 8 o'clock, 77 at noon, 84 at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. 70% chance of showers with thunderstorms Wednesday. Some of those could be severe.
And thanks for watching, and make sure to check back to tylerpaper.com for breaking news updates throughout the day and night.